Just gonna fine tune my stand here. Just bear with me and I'll be right with you. All right, I just gotta wait for my laptop to catch up. I think it's catching up. I'm really not sure. It's always on a delay, so it's a little bit hard to figure out. So it looks like I've got Denise and Carla here. Welcome. All right, so still gotta fool around with my camera stand. Just a second. Got too much of my desk showing and not enough of my space, and I don't really like that. So hold on. And I need it straight. And it's not straight yet. So let's try it going that way. It's getting better. All right, so tonight we've got an ordering special with Evergreen Elegance stamp set. But I will be working with 4 cards that are going to be my card club for November. There's one more day to register. Well, 1 1/4 if that. We're going to be using for the month of November Encircled in Warmth. So those are some of the things we'll be doing tonight. I got some fresh new grid paper there. Fancy, fancy. Didn't want to bring out the Christmas one because it would kind of clash with our Christmas cards here. So I brought out the really beautiful Stampin' Up! Grid paper there. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great, or had a great week. It's Friday. Welcome to my channel. If you like my channel, you can always share it and give me a thumbs up. That really helps with the YouTube algorithms. My goal is to get to 9,000 subscribers by within the next 6 months. So we're getting there. We're at, I think, 88,240 something. So that's super fun. I'm always liking to grow my channel. So like I said, we'll be going over the ordering special here I have for you guys. And also we'll be making this stack of cards here. So, and I got my fingernails all done up for you guys tonight. So very fresh nails. They're really short though, because they keep breaking. That's a time of year where it gets super dry in Vermont and it's so hard to breathe because of the dry air, and I don't know, it's just crazy, dusty anyway. But all right, we're going to get started. So first thing is first, I'm going to tell you about my ordering special. I did email this out last night. So if you're on my email list, you would have received it. So what I have done is I put together a host code for you guys, which is FS as in Sam 6ZVT like Vermont QJ. And it's running from November 18th through the 25th. My ordering site is inspiredbygram.com. And if you place an order using that host code above here, $25 or more in product, you will receive my free Evergreen Elegance card class. And we have made this class before on my live, and I had some paper left over. So I wanted to use it up, and I thought I would make some kits for you guys. So as an ordering special using that host code, you will get to make 1 each of these cards. I've already cut all the ribbon ready to go. Everything is die cut. All you need is some stamps, and you could use, if you have it, Evergreen Elegance. I'll show you that in a second. Or use whatever you have. Now I used a tree a lot, so if you have a stamp set that has a tree, that would be a benefit to you. Also, I'm using Evergreen Elegance ribbon here, so it's kind of just a really deep green. Mossy Meadow used to be my favorite. Now Evergreen Elegance is. So as you can see, I used a pop of color in these black, white, and gray cards. So I showcased this in my in-person class. We made these cards, all 4 of them, on Wednesday. So here you can see how I stamped the inside too. So you guys have seen these cards, and let me just go over them really quick. I used Peaceful Moments stamp set before, and then here I used Evergreen Elegance. So you can kind of see how this paper works with everyday stamp sets and Christmas cards as well. So here's that little tree punch there that I used on that one. And then this one's really beautiful. You just gotta let the paper do all of its work, and these are simple, easy to make. There's an envelope flap I created. So these are really simple to make. I know, Denise, you've made them. You were with me this week, so you can attest how easy these cards were to make. So that is my ordering special, and I'll put this over to the side. And I will post it in the description box below later after I finish up my live. Here is the stamp set that we did use, Evergreen Elegance. It's a cling stamp set. So super fun stamp set to use Christmas time or what have you. And then the kit comes to you like really organized like I always do. And I will print out the instruction sheet here, which is in color. And the instructions are here. It tells you if you wanted to do this class exactly how I cut all the measurements. And on the last page, it will also show you, let me just get to it, the supply list too with everything that I use. In case you wanted to order any of the products, you would have their item numbers here and in the pricing as well. So I hope some of you guys, or all of you guys, took advantage of the sale that was going on this week with cardstock, dies, and paper. I know I did, so that was really helpful to have a little bit of sale product. If you did take advantage of the sale, what did you guys buy? I would be loving to know. Here's the Christmas colors we're going to be using, you guys, tonight. This is called Polished Pink, and this is a 2021 to 2023 in color from Stampin' Up. And then here's Mint Macaron, which is a kind of a bluish green. And this is one of the in colors that we've had for a while. It was taken away and then it was brought back in the last color update. So I've been thinking, I wonder when Stampin' Up's going to have that color refresh. I haven't heard anything about it, but some of those colors sometimes goes away and then does come back again too. So that'll be interesting. So here's the two colors, and we are working with the Whimsy and Wonder. I'm not working with the suite because a lot of times I do not purchase the suite. I purchase what works for me. So I was challenged by my downline Patty C, to make these cards for November Card Club. And I was really taken back because I am not a pastel person. You guys know I like to use lots of greens. It was a bit of a challenge, but actually sometimes it takes me like an hour a card to design because I'm so super fussy. But this one really went together pretty smoothly last Sunday. And I did get it to market for just about a week. So this card club does expire tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So if you wanted to register, you could go over to inspiredbygram.com, and on the right side of the menu bar, you will see my card club link. So like I said, we're going to be using pastel colors. The Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper has the color scheme of Polished Pink, Blushing Bride, Mossy Meadow, Mint Macaron, Misty Moonlight, and Iridescent. So I did only use Blushing Bride and Mint Macaron for my class. I did not use the ribbon that's in this suite. I used, let me get it because I'm going to need it. I used the glittered organdy ribbon. So as soon as I marketed this class, the next day, this stinking ribbon went on back order. So if you are in my card club, I'm going to be sending an email probably on Sunday that card club's going to be delayed this month because Stampin' Up put it on back order. And I do not want to ship card club with anything else if I don't have to, because you guys will really love this ribbon. And with the holidays coming up next week, we're not going to be able to ship anyway. So I'm going to Shipping or Stampin' Up! Is going to receive this ribbon, they say, around the 29th of November. So it's coming to me second day air. And then once I get it, I'm going to divvy up these half a spool is what you get this month. So we'll have everything else ready to go. So as soon as I get it, the turnaround is going to be super quick to you guys. U.S. Postal Service for me has been very, very good. It's 1 to 3 days of delivery, going priority mail. So I've had not one customer complain that their card club was super, super late. So I applaud the U.S. Postal Service because I think they were doing a fabulous job. And same with UPS, because UPS just came tonight about 20 minutes ago with 2 of my boxes for Card Club. So in it, we don't have the ribbon, but it will be coming guaranteed, hopefully. If not, then I will substitute a ribbon. And it's going to be a ribbon that you might not think would go. But let me just grab it. I would substitute Pool Party glittered, it's ribbon. I don't know the exact name of it. I did not look it up. Apologize on that, but it will definitely work. But I really want you to get this other ribbon. So we're going to hold off and see if we can get it. All right, enough of that. But anyway, if you want to see that paper that I'm using, it's on page 25 of the mini catalog, and it's right down here. And I've also teamed it up with the 20 to 21, 20 to 23 in color jewels. So you'll get a full pack of these, and you can see mine are kind of used throughout, but this is what I have in my craft room left. So one full sheet of these plus a single sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals. So pretty good value. All right, so let's take a quickly look at the stamp set. For this month, I've chosen Encircled in Warmth. It's a sentiment stamp set, so super fun round images, and we've got one long one here. These cut really nicely with the layering circles, or if you have some handy punches, those will work as well, the circle punches. So really fun, and you'll see the fonts in action when I stamp. So the first card kind of looks like this. I haven't done a video on Card Club this month just because I just really did not have time. So anyway, this one is called Let It Snow. And I've got Blushing Bride with white and this pastel present print. And you can kind of see where I've put some of the polished pink rhinestones or jewels on this card design here. And on the inside is super fun. You can take that printed paper, fussy cut it out, and put it on your inside, and you've got 3 little packages here. So these are all cut from the designer series paper. I did put these here, these right down to the white, and this one I popped up so it looks 3D, very dimensional. And then we've got this super fun one. This one is really fun. You can kind of see how I mixed and matched the envelopes. I always like to stamp on the envelope. So this card here is with the mint macaron, and this is with polished pink. So it's really fun to mix it all up. And then on the inside of this one, we put Let It Snow. The stamp set really works well. This one is really elegant and pretty. I think this is Denise's favorite card. She did get to see this one the other night. So I used the Evening Evergreen coloring of those gems down here at the bottom, a large one and 2 small ones. And then on the inside, Christmas Wish, Warm Christmas Wishes in macaron. I did add some edging of the silver foil paper, 1/2-inch strips, so we'll be doing that tonight. It matches really nicely with the foil print in the designer series paper. And here we stamped wishing you love, joy, and happiness this coming year. And then finally, this one here, I wanted to use the pine tree punch. Don't forget about the pine tree punch that's in the annual catalog. And I embossed the paper. This is mint macaron. So what I did first was I took some scrap paper, embossed it with a Tasteful Textile embossing folder. Then I punched it out with the pine tree punch, which looks like this. It's item number 149521. Last year, this one was on back order a lot. but now it is available. And I snuck some of that ribbon underneath here just to give it a nice like present look. So I've got one underneath here going this way and then one here. So it kind of looks like ribbon on a present. And then on the inside, I just use that really big stamp that says, "You warm my heart." So warm Christmas wishes, you warm my heart. That looks really nice. And then here we've got it stamped envelope. So if you don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and start making these. I've got my kits all ready to go. And I'm not sure which one we're going to make first. We're going to see which one it is. And it looks like it's the one with the presents. So let's go to the really fun one first. They're all fun, but we'll make that one first. Okay, so what I've got here, let me just take everything out. I've got everything kind of cut. There's lots of little presents over here. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to be using. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp, and I don't have any backup circles or anything, so hopefully I can get this stamped perfect here for you. And I want to make sure I've got everything going the correct way because we don't want to make any mistakes. So I'm going to use polished paint for my color and stamping. So we've got that all ready to go. I need to have Let It Snow and Joyful Season. Is that right? Can't remember already. Yep. Okay, so we're going to do something simple first. We're just going to stamp Joyful Season on the inside. So we're just going to ink it up over here off to the side, and then I'm just going to stamp that right there, and it's already crooked. So we're going to flip that over, and I'm going to see if I can get it stamped. Now I put my cling stamp or my cling label on this one, and I put it on crooked. So I always have to remember I have to get that J down a little bit. That's kind of why it kind of did not go correctly, but I think I got that one pretty good. All right, so that's that stamping. And then we're going to make sure we're stamping on the smooth side. And I've got that die cut ready to go. And let me just find my stamp that I want to use. Where'd the Let It Snow? Right there in front of my eyes. All right, so we're going to be doing stamping this one right here. And let's see if I can get this one in the middle. Yep, I love this one because the placement of all those stars are really nice and symmetrical with the Let It Snow words. So, and then let's go with Let It Snow on the envelope. Again, I'm going to stamp that in polished pink. So your Christmas cards do not have to be super, super like difficult to make. That's going to take you like, I don't know, 45 minutes to put together. You don't want to spend a lot of time making your Christmas cards because, you know, this time of the year, we don't have a lot of time. So I highly suggest that you kind of make something easy and then go with it. All right, so here's our designer series paper, and I really had a problem because I really wanted to use this side of for Card Club, this print. It's got Mossy Meadow and polished pink in it, but I refused to go to the dark greens this time. So we're going to go with this side. Plus, it kind of goes with, of course, the inside and what I was trying to accomplish with this card. So I have got my liquid glue today, and we'll just add it to the back. And this has just got an 1/8 of an inch border, so super small, tiny border. And just take your time adding it to the Blushing Bride. So the sizes on this paper here, the designer series paper, Whimsy Wonder, was 3x4. So you can maximize that sheet of paper. Just remember that you're cutting it, it's kind of a directional pattern, so make sure you're cutting it correctly. I have it mounted on a piece of Blushing Bride, which is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So super, super easy. All right, and then we're gonna flip this one over. We'll need your Stampin' Dimensionals. So like I said with Card Club this month, you're gonna get one full sheet in Club. So that's helpful to you guys, especially if you're running low on your Stampin' Dimensionals. This panel only needs 4. Okay, so just make sure they're pressed down really well. And then let's work with the card base. This is Blushing Bride, 5.5 by 8.5, and I've got it scored at 4.25. And then I have a piece of white, and this is cut basic white, and it's cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I did already emboss this with the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. It looks like this. It's a 3D one, so it's a super thick one. And all we're going to do is, what you need to do first is make sure that your letters are on here going the correct way. So I kind of look up in this area here where it's kind of a smooth white. You can see never, the word never. So just make sure that you can read it. And then we're just going to add our liquid glue to the back side. And then this gets mounted right on that blushing. Oh, shoot, I didn't cut this one right. Well, la-di-da-da. Let's see what Karen can do to figure this one out. All right, here we go. See, we all demonstrators, we do make mistakes too. So let's figure this one out. And it's okay if I get this super gushy because I treated myself to a new Stampin' trimmer. And it's on the floor right now in that UPS box. So it's okay. I'm going to clean this one up too. So this is going to be a spare one for my in-person retreat. So or card classes. So that was looking good. So I only had to trim one side, which is helpful. I will definitely clean up that trimmer with just some rubbing alcohol or StazOn. Cleaner actually works really well. All right, so we've got that. And again, that's cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that goes flat right onto the Blushing Bride. And just give it some really nice press rubbing because it is super embossed. So there's lots of different, you know, heights of embossing. So you want to make sure that gets layered down nicely. Then we'll take that panel that we already put together. We'll take the Stampin' dimensional backings off. I wish there was a magic wand that would just kind of take these off, but nope. So it looks like Renee just joined us. Hello, Renee. I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday to you. All right, so here's our 3 1/8 by 5 or 4 1/8 panel of Blushing Bride with that 3 by 4 panel of Whimsy and Wonder. We've got that on there. Then we're going to take some of that beautiful ribbon, wherever it goes here. And it's just going to be, I don't know, maybe 5 inches of ribbon, about that much. Take some good ribbon scissors, angle cut it. And then what you're going to want to do is, I'm going to take some Stampin' Seal, some Seal Plus, and just put a little bit here. And that's going to be where that circle's going to go. So nobody's going to know that it's there except for us. And then we're just going to add this. Well, you can do this a number of ways. I'm trying to think which way I did it. Okay. So what I did, actually, to make it easier, I'm going to take that Stampin' Seal again. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of that die cut because we want to put dimensionals on this. There, now it's stuck. Then we'll take our Stampin' dimensionals and we're going to add, this is a really small circle. However, it does have this ribbon on it, so I'm going to go with 3 Stampin' dimensionals just to be safe, and that ribbon will stay on. We did use the Stampin' Seal Plus, and that's super, super strong adhesive, so it should be just fine. Now I'm just going to add this over top so that Seal Plus is down here, which is going to help everything stick really nicely. And then just before I really press it down, I just want to make sure that it looks good and symmetrical and just looks really good. So I think it does. Okay. Give it a good press. Then we're going to take this panel here, which is that basic white. Let's flip it around and I'm going to add my adhesive all the way around. And then let's open up this card. And we're going to layer it right down on that Blushing Bride. Now, I thought this looked kind of boring just like that. You can add your designer series paper, a strip of it. You could do some other stamping with another stamp set, or you could take that designer series paper that we used, and which is this one here. It's a 12 by 12 sheet. You can simply cut out your presents and just pick and choose which ones you want. Now, I'm going with 3 because of our odd numbers looking more pleasing to the eye. And this one really pops to me. So this pink one here. And then we could go with this one here off to the side. Or we could kind of go with this one. It was an edge piece, so we're missing part of that ribbon. So you could put it there too. I think I'm going to go with that one. Let's go with that one. I think that other one was just a little bit too light in the pink area. So to do what I did on that inside of the card, we're just going to add a little bit of this glue. The fussy cutting on these presents is super simple. It's pretty much straight cutting, so you should not have any issues cutting this paper out. This is the one I'm going to put with Stampin' Dimensional, so let's just flip that one over, and we will get one off the sheet and add it. And then I'm just going to set this one right here for right now. We're not going to press it down because I want to see where this one is going to go. And I want it to go this way. Okay, so this one is going to get adhered right down to the white. And then I'm just going to cover it, put it right there. And then I'm going to kind of just bring this one up a little bit. So that is the inside of this card here. You could put some of those gems on the inside. So let me just show you how I did that. We'll take a soft succulent color one here, and we'll just add it right to that bow. Okay, so that's kind of different on the inside. And then on this side here, I use the polished paint color because of the little, I guess they're snowflakes, I'm not quite sure. So we'll add a little gem right there, and then we'll add 2 more throughout the card. And what I did was I tried to look for some of these bows to see if it would look nice on one of these bows. This one looks really nice there. And then we're going to form our triangle. So we have one here, and then we either want to come down, probably want to go over here to create our triangle, or over here. I'm actually going to go way over here. Okay, so that's card number 1. Let's put them next to each other so we can kind of see if there's any difference. The only difference I see is basically the size of the ribbon I used and the designer series paper. So let's take a look at the inside here. You can kind of see the difference as well. Here I kind of really put them all over one another, and this one I gave a little space in between because this present over here is a little bit larger. And then I added a gem here. So that is card number 1 for you guys. Let me know what you think. Again, this is part of my November card club, and there's only about a day left to register. It's $39 a month, so pretty good deal for what you get in it. And if you stick around for 6 consecutive months, I send you $25 worth of Stampin' Up! Products. So I know some of you watching have already earned like at least three rewards of that, so that's $75 your way. So I like to take my Stampin' rewards and save those for my customers and share my rewards with you guys. All right, so the kit that I just picked, which was on top of the pile here, is going to be this one here. So I'm going to have to make a bow on camera, and you know that's kind of sketchy with me. But we'll take a look at this one again. This uses a Stitch So Sweetly dies, and on the inside, Let It Snow. All right, so I'm going to need to clean my stamps because we're going to be using mint macaron. So let's see what we need to get here for stamping. We need this one, in our envelope, and all the other things we do not need. So I'm just going to put those over to the side. How many of you guys have a Stampin' scrubber? These are awesome. I now have 6 of them. I keep one in my craft room at all times, and all the other ones go to me with my in-person classes. I like that because I don't have to worry about always remembering mine on my desk, and I use my Stampin' Rewards to order one of these plus the cleaner that comes with it. And the cleaner is a really nice big bottle. It's called Stampin' Mist. I don't really know if I can tell you how many ounces are in it. I'm sure it's 8 fluid ounces, so it will last a long time. All right, so our stamping, like I said, will be with mint macaron. So let me just grab that over here. Again, this is kind of a bluish green color. Kind of reminds me of the ocean in a little bit, but not too much. Okay, so we are going to go with, again, the Joyful Season. Again, we can use our layering circles for this. Or if you don't have your layering circle dies, you could use a circle punch. All right, so that's, I re-inked this, so that's why that one is much deeper green and then that sample there, because it is pretty bright mint macaron, but I actually really love it. All right, so now we're going to take that stamp, Let It Snow, and we're going to stamp this one off to the left side. And that's because we're going to be adding our designer series paper on the right side of this basic white panel. And then for the envelope, let's just stamp Let It Snow again over in the corner there. We'll close up our ink pad for now. Again, super easy design for you guys. So you're not taking lots of time creating your cards. You can definitely just make them super easy and fun, and everyone will love these. Again, we're using pastel colors, something that was challenged by me, to me from Patty. So I'm going to just work, since I have this here, I'm going to work on the inside panel. This is cut 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it's a piece of that designer series paper. On the back side, you got that misty moonlight trees and stars. And then this is going to go on the inside of your card. So you can add your designer series paper to the white. Makes it super pretty. You can also add it to your envelope flaps, which we did in card class this week using the Evergreen Elegance class supplies. So here we go. We're going to add this strip. I do like to have a little bit of that basic white showing on the right side. And I'm going to just rub this down so it does stick. I'm going to flip it over because my little piece here is just a little bit too long. It's like a 1/16 of an inch too long. And if that happens to you, all you really need to do is take your Stampin' or your paper snips and just trim it off super easy. And you can see that's the piece that was there. And I didn't like that, so we'll just trim it off, give it a little haircut. All right, so that one is that you have to be careful because it is directional. Then we've got, here's our layering circles. It's got a scallop back to it, and that's in mint macaron. And then just simply add that glue to the back side of the sentiment and just make sure it's in the center there. That's why I like to use liquid glue, just because you give us a chance to move it around. And then here is our Stitch So Sweetly mint macaron panel. And I can't remember what size it is. I think it's a 2nd or 3rd, not quite sure. Then this panel here is cut 1 7/8 by 2 3/4, I think it is. No, 3 1/4. So 1 7/8 by, what did I say? 3 1/4. And that's just going to get glued down right here. Now you could make it look like this. Let me just show you. This is the original card. If you wanted to make it a little bit different, all you need to do is turn around the designer series paper so you're seeing the Misty Moonlight side. I'm just going to stick with my original card. So I'll just add that glue simply to the back side. Then we're just going to add it right in the middle of that Stitch So Sweetly die cut. And I really want to make sure that I can see the stitching all the way around that rectangle. We'll flip this one over and we're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to this side. I'm going to just add 4 of them. So I want them kind of close to the edges here. And we're going to have some ribbon coming around here, and that's the reason why I need that ribbon to hit on the lower side of it. So these Stampin' Dimensionals need to be quite low. Usually I have them in about a 1/2 inch on each side, but not this time. All right, so that one is all prepped. The next thing we're going to do is prep the bottom layers. And this one's going to go on here. Look at that. I never noticed. There's this cute little deer right there. Do you guys see that? See that? I did not notice that before until like right now on camera. Stinking cute, right? Okay, so here's the panel. This one is cut 3 3/4 by 5. And then I'm mounting it onto a piece of Blushing Bride, which is cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Then this one is just going to get adhered right onto that macaron card base. And this one is cut 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. And again, it's directional, so just be careful. Or if you, I just keep looking at this one. He's so cute. I'm going to have such a hard time. I don't want to cover him up, right? So what am I going to do, you guys? Like, I really want him to be shown. He's so cute. But I don't think I'm going to be able to, unfortunately, because I don't have any other place to put this one. That will look really odd. So I'm going to have to cover up the little deer. But we've got him showing right here. So we get half of him, or maybe 2/3 of the deer. So, all right. I just want to make sure there's no questions. So we've got AJ, Rita, and Jean-Ann on. So super fun to have all of you guys here with me crafting on a Friday night. So, all right. So I've got these all super prepped. I'm going to peel these off right now. And then we're going to add that glittered organdy ribbon, which I'm so disappointed went on back order, but we'll get it in time for Card Club. So let me just grab it here. I've got it off to the side, and I'm right-handed, so my bolt or ribbon is always on my right side when I start. And we'll stretch it out, and I'm going to put it on the back side just like this, so it's flat. Flip it over, and now we're going to do it. We're going to cover up that little deer. Okay, I'm press down on those 4 corners. Now this ribbon is still going to be able to slide through very easily, so that's good. Let me just bring it over. Try to guesstimate how much ribbon I'll need. It's about, usually when you're doing a full card ribbon wrap, it's about 20 inches, but this is smaller, so I'm not sure how much this is. But now I brought the spool over to the left side, and I do need a little bit more, about 2 more inches. And then I'm going to wrap this side, the left side, underneath, and then we'll make that that like cross or T, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to make a really sizable loop for this one, because we're really trying to showcase this ribbon and how gorgeous it is. So let's see if I can do that. Not too bad on my first try, you guys. So let me just make this a little bit smaller. I'll just pull on this side. It's not cooperating. There we go. Okay, so the best thing I needed to do was actually put my finger on the knot here and tie it because it is very kind of rough ribbon. And it's because it's got all that glitter in it. So now I'm going to take my scissors and just angle cut it off. And then we're going to move this bow as best as we can to get it over. So I don't want to ruin that panel. I should have gotten it over a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to just deal with it because I don't want to ruin that scallop edge there. The next step is to take your Joyful Season focal point and we're going to slide it over here and off to the side. So underneath here, where it's on this side here, underneath is where you're going to need to put 2 Stampin' Dimensionals. So you're going to put one over here and you're going to put one here because we need to raise it up to this panel height here. And then under the S is where you're going to want to put your adhesive. So let's flip this over. So now it's reversed. I'm going to put Stampin' Seal on the right side here, right side facing me. And then I'm going to take 2 Stampin' Dimensionals and we're going to add one here. And then we're going to add another one right here. And then we're going to flip it over. And now we're going to just slide it in underneath. I want to put it down low enough. But I also want to see a little bit of that Designer Series paper coming through on the right side here, which it looks pretty good. There we go. Okay, so that's looking super cute. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Let It Snow inside panel and we'll just take some, I got my Stampin' Seal Plus right there. And then we're going to add this one to the inside. And then flip it over, close it up, and now we're going to have to add our in color gems here. I'm going to try to use some of these up on this sheet. So Fresh Freesia, see how beautiful the Fresh Freesia looks. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but trust me, it looks really, really pretty. I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia on this one here. So I've got one here. Let's put one over here. And we're going to add one, let's see, I'm just going to put one over here. So we've got our triangle of 3, an odd number. All right, so that's this one. And here's this one. And then on the original one, I had Joyful Season. And this one has Let It Snow. So I mixed and matched the colors here on the envelope and the sentiment. And then here's this one here. So the only thing I would have changed on the one we made together is to get that bow a little bit more over to the left side of that stitch so sweetly. But if we did that, we would cover up that stinking cute deer. So I think I'm going to just keep it that way because we want to see that little baby deer. So I hope you guys like this one. And we will rock on to number 3. We're going to roll it over. And let's see what is the next card kit in line. All right, we've got this one here. So let me find that one in my pile. It's this one right here. Beautiful, beautiful. This is Denise's favorite one. She got to see these on Wednesday night at our in-person class. And I believe this was her favorite one. Correct me if I am wrong. I believe she's still on here. If not, well, then she can come back and watch the replay. But anyway, super cute bow. I'm going to use the 10-second bow maker because that's how I roll with my bows. And here's the envelope. So, and this, I am really struggling with putting my cling stamps, my stickers on my stamps. I don't know if it's my eyes or what have you, but I used to be really good at it. But lately, I'm not sure what's happening. My eyes are just getting super old. All right, so let's find the pieces we need. We've got the die cut there from Tasteful Textures. We've got our inside panel in our envelope. How many of you guys stamp your envelopes or add the designer series paper to the envelope flap? How do you guys design your envelopes? Why don't you guys chat about that while I get my stamps ready to go. We've got our mint macaron, and I've got this other stamp here. This one is a large stamp, but I have more control stamping with a D block, so I put mine on diagonal. And let's see, what a warm Christmas wishes. So we haven't used that one yet, so let's grab that stamp. All right, so envelope flap. Yep, you got it. And Denise is still on there. Do you use clear blocks to put your stickers on? It is so easy to learn. Yes, I do, Carol. And I have been doing that. And lately, the last two stamp sets, my eyes, I'm not sure what's going on with my eyes. And I just had an eye exam not too long ago. So I don't know. Maybe I should do it, not put the cling stamps, the stickers on at night. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure. Or it just takes a little bit more time. All right, so here's our Tasteful Labels die cut, and I just stamped wishing you love, joy, and happiness this coming year in mint macaron. So I'm going to I love the fonts in this stamp. So we're just going to, probably it's going to go crooked because I think this one is off too. Oh, not too bad. That's going on my envelope flap. And then on the inside, we're going to stamp warm Christmas wishes right in the middle. That's not too bad. Okay, so now we're going to assemble this one. I have a piece of the designer series paper. This is the back side. We're going to use this one here. It's kind of the diamond pattern paper. And then this gorgeous side as well. But we're going to make a background to this. This is cut 4x4. So again, you're going to maximize your designer series paper. And let's take my liquid glue and we're just going to adhere it to the front of the card. And the card base is mint macaron and it's cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then this one here, 4x4. So we're just going to simply kind of put it on the middle, just eyeball it. Make sure it's straight as you can get it. And then what you're going to do, oh, that is not straight. Hold on. Let's try that one again. There we go. That's better. I don't think I pressed it down hard enough, so it didn't stick. Okay, so now we're going to take that paper. Where did it go? Right here. And we're going to work with 2 strips of the silver foil. This here is cut 3 by 5 1/4. This is the designer series paper. And this one here is the silver foil and it's cut 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. What I like to do is I like to use my Stampin' Seal on this part, Seal Plus, whatever. I like to add the adhesive to the designer series paper right on the edge. And we're going to do it on both sides. I think I'm almost out. Let's see if we can get through this. Just going to go super slow. Okay, so now I've got it going the correct way. It is a directional paper. And then what I like to do is I like to start from the bottom, about 1/4 inch. And then I run my eyes right up before I stick it down. So I've got about 1/4 inch foil on the outside of the left side. Then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to secure it with my finger down here, about 1/4 inch. Run my eyes all the way up top, make sure it's correct and straight, and then I'll press it. And then again, I'm going to come from the back side and then just press it again. So that's super easy. Foil really adds a lot to your designer series paper too. As you can see, this is a specialty paper, so that already has the foil in it. But just adding that strip of the silver foil looks really dynamic. So we're going to add our Stampin' Dimensionals here. I'm going to add 5 to these because this designer series paper is definitely not as thick as our cardstock. So we're just going to add 5 dimensionals here. And we are going to just press those backings, peel these babies off. I'm so super happy you guys found me here in crafting. I've been gone for the last couple Fridays. I had a craft fair last weekend, which was really fun. We haven't had craft fairs here in Vermont for, at least I haven't been to one or participated because of COVID since 2019. So I'm only doing one this year because I'm super busy with my just my online classes and in-person classes. I can only afford to be away on the weekends, you know, once this year, but it was fun to see everybody, you know, kind of back and selling at our craft fairs and seeing people I haven't seen in so long. So it was just fun time to get together. All right, I gotta run over because I want to show you this punch. This is a new punch in my craft room. It's called the Evergreen Border, and it makes these really fun Christmas trees. So I punched out using, you know, a strip of the mint macaron and just a little bit, because we're only going to use 3 of these. And I want to, what I want to do is I want to use this one because I want the bigger one in the middle. You can kind of see how I did it here. So I need to snip off this one here, unfortunately. Cute little tree. And then we're just going to put that one off to the side first. The next thing we want to do is we're going to add this focal point here. I do have this one lifted up with our Stampin' Dimensionals. As you can see, we're using quite a few of these Stampin' Dimensionals. That's why for my card club, I did add a sheet into card club just because you may not have them in your craft room or you might be getting low. That way you'll have them for card club and you won't have to wait for, you know, your order to get to your house, because, you know, we don't really know how long it's going to take to ship things unless you go like a 2 or 3 day or overnight air. Okay, so now this one is going to go on the bottom. So how I did this was I really wanted to have some of the designer series paper showing here. And I also wanted to kind of get this in the middle, in between this lower layer here with the diamond pattern. So I kind of just leave it there until I kind of make sure it looks good to me. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to get my 10-second bow maker. And we're going to make a bow. So I don't hand do my bows because I have a tool here that I purchased so many years ago when I first started to stamp, and I still use it. So I'm just gonna grab some ribbon and trim it off. How many of you guys have some kind of bow maker? Do you have a fork that you use? Do you have a special bow maker like mine here? Or are you a really good bow maker? Some people are just can do it. All right, this is my bow I made with the 10-second bow maker. So I think it looks pretty good. So we're gonna go with it. All right, so let's take our card back into the picture here. And I'm gonna grab those trees that I trimmed down, and then I'm just gonna stick these here just for a second because I wanna see if I'm gonna like this before I glue everything down. I think it looks okay, so we're just gonna press this one down, make sure it's stuck. Then we're gonna slide these trees out, and then we're just gonna add a little bit of liquid glue to the back side. And then we'll flip it over and then just gently slide these right in here. Okay. Then we're going to take this little bow that I created. You're going to need a glue dot, so let me grab one of those. And I'm just going to press it down. And then I'm going to add this one right to the middle of that die cut. And then what I like about this glittered organdy ribbon is you can see right through it. Can you see that? So even though those the tails on the bow are covering the sentiment, you can still read it. All right. So I really like that. And I'm going to just trim these down just a little bit. Angle cut it this way and then angle cut it this way. Okay, so there we go. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to take some of those evening evergreen gems. I'm going to go with a big one here and then a little one to the right. So we're going to end up with 3. And then one over here. I usually do the embellishments last. I'm not sure why I skipped a step, but we still need to get that inside panel on. So that's the front of our card. Now let's work on this one here. This is just a piece of scrap. I use my scraps. You can see it's directional, so that's not going to work this way. So we're just going to flip it over and we're going to add it to the bottom of the panel there. Let's just take my liquid glue and add it. And then we'll add it to the bottom. This panel is cut 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many of you have purchased the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper and have used it? Are you making Christmas cards with pastels or the traditional red and green? Let's take a poll. What are you guys making? What are your go-to colors for Christmas cards? Again, I was challenged by my downline Patty to go with pastels. So that's what I'm doing, and I really love it. I love these. I know all of my nieces would definitely love this color scheme. All right, so that is that card. There's that one, and there's this one. So beautiful. You can see where I'm showing more of the silver foil on this one that we made together versus this one. It's about 1/8 of an inch here and 1/4 of an inch on the right side. And then here is our coordinating envelopes. All right, we have one more card to go. Hope you guys are still with me. It looks like I've got still some people who are still hanging on. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'll be done in just a little bit. This is our last card we're going to be making tonight. Okay, so Jean Ann says totally non-traditional colors. I've used a bunch of this DSP because it's my absolute favorite. Oh, I know. Isn't it just beautiful? It's so, so pretty. Okay, so we're going with Warm Christmas Wishes, and that's the one I think that's not on my stamp very well, so we're going to give it a try. On the inside, You Warm My Heart, so super big. So this one is a super big stamp, so if you have trouble figuring out what you want to write on the inside of your card, just use one of those really big stamps, and it fills up most of the white, so you don't have to worry about actually writing too much. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. All right, you got to be careful with this one because I'm using 2 white panels. There's a little hint of white underneath the Designer Series paper there, and then there's one on the inside. So I've got to make sure I'm grabbing the right one, which is on the inside. That's where I put it. For the inside panel. So we've got that one, we've got this, and this for our stamping. So I'm going to use Polished Pink this time. I've used enough of the Mint Macaron, so let's go with Polished Pink. And then I've got You Warm My Heart. It's on crooked, and that's I did that because for me, when I have my block straight across, I tend to stamp a little bit crooked. So when I put my stamps on at a diagonal, I stamp better. So let's just ink this up, and then I'm going to stamp this right on the panel, right in the middle. Looks really big and bold and bright. And then let's take this die cut. This is from Hippo and Friends. And then I'm looking for Warm Christmas Wishes, which is right here. And it's got some mint macaron on it. So let me just take my Stampin' Scrub really quick and we will clean it off. Now, I want to show you guys, I just recalled something that happened in my stamp retreat. So lots of people that are beginner stampers or people that just can't remember, have a hard time remembering what is the wet and the dry side. Well, if you have a Stampin' Scrub, there's a mark over here that has raindrops and the sun. So the sun means dry, raindrops is wet. So the wet side you always want to clean your stamps on. Well, one of my downlines, again, Patty, said, why don't you just mark it with something bright? So in the corner here, I have a little star. All right, so it's a bright yellow Mango Melody, I think, star that was retired. I had in my pack. So we added it there, and everyone really, really liked this. So if you run classes, it's something that if you haven't already done, I would highly suggest to put something bright up in that corner because people can see it better than raindrops that are kind of etched in there. So just a simple tip for you guys. I always like to try to bring you a tip at least one time in my lives. So you can come away with, oh boy, this is the one that is definitely crooked. So I don't want to ruin this grid paper because it's brand new. So I'm just going to grab this Post-it note. My husband used to work for Blue Seal. So I'm just going to turn it. Okay, so I need to go to the, hold on. Just bear with me because I don't want to get this wrong. Oh, that's too much. Okay, let's try one more time. I just want to know how I need to hide that block. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see if I can get it right. Okay, let's see. That R is up there. Not too bad. Okay, I got it a little bit too low. It's straight, but a little too low. That's okay. So we're going to stamp again with that same stamp. And I'm going to stamp it right here in that lower corner there. All right, we are going to close this one up. What's a game changer? For me, this was a game changer. You'll have to remind me what I was talking about on that one there, Denise. Okay, we've got our Blushing Bride card base. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we have a piece of white. And this is cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm going to add that Designer Series paper here, which is cut 3 3/4 by 5. Something very easy to remember. Flip this over and then we'll add it right to that basic white panel. Again, this is just 1/8 of an inch border there. I didn't get it quite straight enough, but you guys get the idea. And then what I'm going to do, I almost forgot this step. We're going to take that ribbon and we're going to cut 2 pieces. This one. And let me grab my Scotch tape. And we're going to add, this one's going to look like a present. So I'm going to just tape this on the inside. And let me just grab another piece of tape. Of course, I didn't get it smack in the middle, so let me try to do that again. There we go. All right, so I've got that one secured. Isn't that beautiful? Just that is just so pretty. And then I had an idea. Let's make it look like a present, okay? So we're just gonna cut another piece of that ribbon. You could just use it a single wrap, that's fine. But I'm gonna make it like a package. Like I got a nice little bow on it. All right, so we're just gonna add some more of that tape. Oh, the star on the wet side of the stamp cleaner is a game changer. You're darn right it is. Such a great idea. See, we all learn from everyone, right? Okay, so that's our little ribbon wrap. And then you can add Stampin' Dimensionals to this one. I did not on that sample card. I just added my liquid glue to the back side. And let's bring in that Blushing Bride. And then it's just going to get adhered right down to the front. A good press. Then I'm going to take the Hippo and Friends die here that we stamped our sentiment. Here we go with our Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to add a few more. So I'm going to add 4, 1 to each side here. And make sure they're pressed down really hard. You don't want them to come off. Sometimes if you don't have them pressed down secure enough, you could peel them off. And then this is going to get put right down on the center of that ribbon. Then we're going to take that tree. So this, I used the pine tree punch. And the first thing I did was I embossed the mint macaron paper with the Tasteful Textile embossing folder. Then I punched it out. Then we're going to add it right here. So again, we need to put the liquid glue on this side and a Stampin' Dimensional right by my index finger. So we'll add this here. Give it a good press, peel it off. I'm going to add the glue here. Then we're going to add this over to the edge. Make sure your tree's going straight. We don't want a crooked tree. Okay, let's add this panel to the inside. I'm just gonna do 1 strip of adhesive. And then this gets put right down. See, there's not a lot of spot to write, so if you have a trouble writing, definitely get this stamp on the inside. And then to embellish this even more, we're gonna take our gems and we're just gonna sprinkle them all over this card. So I'm gonna use all the different colors that are in, this is a pale papaya. So what I did was let me start over again. Put this one down here. So this is a large one. So then I'm going to grab a small one. So I kind of just go like off to the side here. And then let's do a large polished pink and a small soft succulent at the top here. And then I'm going to grab a fresh freesia over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to get another 6. And let's go 7. So there we go. Maybe I need another one there. I don't know. I didn't space them out very well. So let me just add one here. Down here. 8. So you know me, I need another odd number. So let's go with a darker color. Adding embellishments is like the hardest thing ever, right? Now it looks horrible. I'm not going to do any more. It's good. It's going to be an even number this time. All right, so here's this one and here's this one here. And of course, our coordinating envelope. Let me just put them right here. All right, so what do you guys think? Pastels or your traditional green, red and green colors? Aloha from Hawaii. I love Hawaii. I've been there twice. I can't wait to go back. Oh, very nice. Very nice islands. Okay, so let's just go over the class one more time. This is my card club. Again, you have less than 24 hours to register, $39 monthly. So that was card number 1. Card number 2 is this one here. It's my favorite of all of them because, of course, it's green. And then here's Joyful Season. I love the glittered organdy ribbon. And then we have Let It Snow. This one's really fun too. I think this is my another favorite. I love all of them, but if I had to pick the top 2, I would definitely be a pink and green one. So this one and this one, but they are all lovely. And then if you missed my special, I am offering a ordering special. It's a free card class from me. It's been a very popular card class. We just did this as an in-person class on Wednesday. Everyone loved it. It uses the Evening Evergreen or Evergreen Elegance stamp set, which looks like this. If you don't have it, you could use a tree stamp set. You could use anything. You could even use the Encircled in Warmth that we just used. So here is my host code. It's F as in Frank, S as in Frank, S as in Sam, 6, Z as in zebra, VT as in Vermont, the abbreviation, Q as in Queen, and J as in jam. And between November 18th and the 25th, if you purchase a order of $25 or more in product from my website, inspiredbygraham.com, I will send you a free Evergreen Elegance class from me. So I have my kits ready to go. They come with my instruction sheets that are in color, step-by-step instructions. And if you want to know all the sizes and how I cut and what I use for supplies, they're on here for you. And then I belly band them all up, put a nice little tag on there. I've got the ribbon in there, and also I've got some rhinestones too. So a super great deal for your Christmas card collection. Again, that host code is FS6ZVTQJ. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I am going to be going hiking tomorrow with my friend Sarah. We're going to be heading down to the eastern side of Vermont, and we're going to be hiking 10.5 miles tomorrow. Part of the long trail that we're going to hike starting July 30th of next year. So we're getting our happy feet ready to go tomorrow. We haven't been hiking in a while together, almost 2 months, I think. Last time was Mount Washington in New Hampshire. So we're ready to get out there. It's going to be super cold in the morning, but we have all of our gear ready to go. And I hope there's no snow up there. Because I really don't want to hike in snow. But that just reminds me, I need to go get my micro spikes because I don't have those packed yet. And that would be kind of horrible if I didn't have my micro spikes. And if you don't know what micro spikes are, they are spikes that you clamp on or you put on your hiking shoes or trail runners or your hiking boots that actually grip to ice. So it's super hard to hike in ice if you don't have those on. So trust me, I've learned when I winter hiked for the first time ever. So you want those darn micro spikes. They're not expensive. They're about $60. So well worth the investment. But anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. I'll probably post a few pictures on my Facebook page. So if you are not familiar with my Facebook page, it is on Facebook, Inspired by Graham. So super easy. It's a page, not a group. And if you want to head over there, I will post my hiking pictures from tomorrow so you can kind of see us hiking, hopefully in no snow. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe out there. There's so many people still getting the coronavirus and coming out positive, especially in Vermont here. We used to be a really safe state, and now it's just like crazy. But anyway, you guys take care. If you haven't gotten your vaccination, get it. If you need a booster, get that too. I can get mine next week, and I plan to get my Moderna for the third time. So be safe out there, like I said. Have a great weekend, like I said, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Take care and be well.